Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, July 20th, and we've now had Tesla earnings, and they could be better. Tesla's down about 4.2% in pre-market, and it's continuing to decline. How was the earnings call, Ryler?
I mean, it was quite entertaining for us in the chat, but yeah, it was a little underwhelming, and we had the chart up on the Tesla chart live streaming, so like we noticed anytime Elon spoke, the stock price seemed to continue dropping and dropping, so it was pretty funny to see that. And he I don't want to like make fun of his disabilities in any way, but he said about 300 times probably.
He's a bit of a mumbler.
You guys start keeping count like halfway through the call?
Yeah, because normally what we do is when we have these earnings calls, we tell everyone to take a shot when they say AI, but this time we switched to
I think that's a lot more dangerous. You're going to get a lot more drunk that way.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have calls that are like dated a month out that at a 300 strike, so hopefully those recover, but I'm not keeping my hopes up.
He also said to buy low and sell high. He says Tesla's basically inflated right now. So he essentially said to sell Tesla.
There was a point. I can't remember if that was like during the Q&A session or right before that, but he was talking about how he expects Tesla to 10x, and then he corrected himself and said, "Oh wait, no, maybe 5x is more reasonable." And then within a few moments later, he mentioned how the market is too exuberant. So I was thinking, okay, which one is it? Do you want Tesla to 10x, or is the market too exuberant?
He's wild.
Sounds like he was totally unscripted. That's crazy for an earnings call, but maybe not crazy for Elon.
Oh, he was off the cuff for like, I would say half of it, but in the beginning you could tell he was kind of reading something because he was like really droll and boring. And then later on he started cracking jokes and making everyone laugh, and then the stock price didn't take it very well.
It's a $30 billion comedy club. Sorry?
He said he built a cyborg too, and it cost him like $6 million. He apparently like did something with like prosthetic limbs or whatever. It was so random.
So I think one of the key takeaways I took away was that they're in talks with another major OEM about licensing FSD, which if that were to happen, you'd probably get a very similar effect to the kind of moat that was created with the supercharging network deals, except this would probably be, probably a much bigger deal. As far as I understand about the supercharging network, is that seems to be almost like at a net neutral for Tesla, but this is gonna really rake in some money, I imagine.
Well, no. Think about the supercharging network for a second. They came out and said yesterday that their network is now called the North American Standard.
Yeah, NACS.
And if you and they're not licensing the technology to other OEMs or other manufacturers, but what it does do is it creates a razor and blade type of a scenario for them, where they're giving the razor away for free, and then the electricity is the blade that they're going to be charging for and making profit on over from now on. So I think people don't understand what it means to be the standard of something nationwide. For Tesla, I think this is huge.
I think it does create like I said, the moat kind of situation, but just the way Musk was talking about it, it sounded like they weren't, really trying to do much in the ways of profiting off of this.
What were your overall thoughts on that earnings call?
Repeat that again?
I was just curious what your takeaway was from the whole call in general.
Well, there were no surprises really. We knew their deliveries were really good, and their margins didn't really suffer that much because the reduction in lithium prices, lithium prices were 30% of what they used to be, and their margins only decreased by 0.7%. And I think their earnings were sort of in, because if you look at the past 2-3 weeks of Tesla stock, it's gone up 25% in the last 2-3 weeks. So since they've announced their delivery, surpassing their delivery numbers, the stock priced in these earnings. So that's why I don't think it moved up much. The reason that it's moving down, I think, is because institutional investors want to get back in at a lower price.
Yep.
I think this was total manipulation, because everything else on their earnings call was good, or as expected, I should say. And like I said, this charging network thing, although they're not trying to make money on the technology itself, they can't help but make money on selling the electricity. I mean, they're charging a certain amount for kilowatt hour, and I'm sure they're paying less for it on the back end. So, I think that's sort of an understated value. But I think the earnings went as expected, and the results were priced in already. And I think it's being manipulated so that people can get in at a lower price, because I think I see it going higher. The third quarter is probably going to suck, because he did mention that they're facing strong headwinds from the interest rates. So that's might put some more pressure on them to reduce the price of the cars if interest rates go up. Plus, they're going to have rolling shutdowns of various factories to retool and repair them. So their production numbers should be down a little bit in the third quarter. And then come the fourth quarter, they're going to start actually delivering some Cybertrucks, which means that in the first quarter of 2024, they should have the Cybertruck should be contributing to the bottom line. So I see the next quarter as being kind of flat to down a little bit. And then depending on interest rates, probably the fourth quarter too. And then hopefully get better by next year.
That's a really good
summary.
To really ramp up the Cybertruck, though. They really
they did make a point to keep mentioning how like the interest rates are out of their control, and I think that was so that people would not point the finger at them.
Yeah, and that interest rate stuff, that's going to affect everyone that sells high ticket items that are paid for over time. Because whether you're buying a house or selling a house, when interest rates go up, you have to reduce the price of the asset to make up for it. So if interest rates go up, that's going to affect every auto manufacturer, real estate, everything else too. So they're not going to be alone in that.
Are they planning to do stuff in India? Because Elon met with the India Prime Minister?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
They said several times that they really want to do something in India. I think they say it's a matter of timing and like kind of when they want to get involved in that. But it sounds like it's further in the future.
And on that note, I actually look at Tesla and Apple as great plays if you're into the whole BRICS thing. So if you want to play BRICS, if you want to invest in BRICS, I think Apple and Tesla are the way to go. Apple just announced the other day that India has now become their 5th largest market, surpassing Europe. So Apple India is now the 5th largest market for Apple products, which is pretty interesting, because they're pivoting. Tim Cook mentioned in their earnings call last time that they're pivoting hard towards India, and I see Apple and Tesla as great plays if you want to get in on the whole BRICS thing.
So you would think that they're both moving out of China, like more toward India, to be more based in there with manufacturing?
I don't know if I don't think Tesla's necessarily moving out. I mean, they do have their Shanghai factory. I don't see them just shutting that down, but I definitely see them adding India to their list of countries that they're going to have factories in. I mean, India's got the world's biggest population. Why wouldn't you? In India, the only obstacle is the ability of people to buy the cars, because the average annual income in India isn't that high. So, but there are wealthy people in India that can easily afford Teslas. So, like I said, for me, I look at Tesla right now. I look at Tesla, Microsoft, and Apple as great plays if you want to invest in BRICS without investing in BRICS.
mean, you guys have heard me say it before, but I think this earnings season is going to be the turn for a while. It's looking to be a buy the rumor, sell the news situation.
I agree, and we mentioned that earlier too. Is that the same thing happened with some other tech earnings? The price dropped, and then 2 weeks later, the price just shot up afterwards. So I think you're totally right on that.
If you go look at order flows, there were some. Oh, there we go. That probably sounds a lot better. If you go look at order flows, the directional ETFs had huge trades on them right before earnings. So TQQQ switching into SQQQ. Obviously, we don't know who bought and who sold, but yep, there's people are switching directions. There's also huge trades in the iShares 20-year bond ETF and the VanEck semiconductors ETF, so people selling off semiconductors, and then Google as well, so Alphabet. Be interesting to see what happens.
So you think people are rotating out of tech after this long run up we've had?
I mean, if you made a fuck ton of money in the past month with the run up on tech, would you sell it or would you keep holding on diamond hands?
I mean, I've sold some of my tech, but I'm still long on the sector overall. But yeah, I did take some profits.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I know a couple of people who are in tech. One of them is like a 20-year Nvidia investor, and he's selling like weekly cover calls to trim his portfolio because he knows it's like going to the moon and wants to take as much money as possible.
If my favorite stock hit an all-time high, I would consider selling some of it and then hoping to buy it back cheaper later. Spoiler was asking about TSMC. Wow, yeah, 4% drop. That sucks.
I heard they're halting or temporarily halting production on their Arizona facility. Is that what's causing that?
They didn't even have earnings. They're just some kind of news. Let's see. Oh, no, apparently they did have earnings. My apologies. They beat. Their estimated was 1.07, and then the actual was 1.14. There's a lot of this week has, other than the banks, it's been a lot of people beating their earnings and then still having their price drop afterwards, which is why I'm saying the buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah, and that kind of action makes me not want to do earnings plays anymore.
I made money on Wall and Air, Western Alliance and AAR Corp. So like, I think there's still room to the upside in certain sectors. Like banks had a shitty quarter last time, and banks are generally fine with money. So I had predicted a lot of them would have better earnings this time around, and Yeah, some went okay.
Yeah, Truist did not like me very much.
Just like to say I love the title. Love the title this morning.
Tesla earnings swerve into a ditch.
Yeah. Perfect. You're gonna swerve. Might as well do it into a ditch.
I should have sold my calls before close yesterday, but I say that every time. I never do.
So I know it's a little early, but there's supposed to be some sort of exit plan, I think, announced today for the Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't know what that means. Exit plan. I don't know what that means.
Oh, no.
But I guess supposed to be some sort of finality announced.
They still
Yeah,
need people
they
to try
said-
and buy some of their assets, or they
I
outlook.
I don't know. I just know that they said that there's a plan as of the exit, as them exiting Chapter 11. I don't know if that just means it's close up shop. I don't know if it means. I don't know. I just know they said 24 hours. Yeah, I just know they said something. They said 24 hours yesterday. That they would be making the judge aware of what's going on, something like that. So I'll just look out for news about that today. Or maybe they won't have any news about it at all. I don't know. Other than that, I'm looking at picking up some shares of Apple. I heard something about them developing their own AI to compete with Nvidia directly,
Compete with ChatGPT, I believe.
or ChatGPT. Yeah.
I mean, respectfully, if you're trying to make an AI play, you're about a month late.
Well, I mean, as far as Apple goes, I think their shares are cheap right now for what they're worth. But yeah, you're right. As far as AI goes, about a month ago. But I've had Nvidia shares.
Also, please get a better internet service provider on your cell phone, because
Oh yeah, I start the mornings out. I do my mornings. I'm a maintenance guy. I'm in the bottom of the parking garage in the morning.
gotcha. Well, so to put it in perspective, Apple, is again at the highest that it's been, and one of the things that I had said earlier is if your favorite stock is at all-time highs, don't you think you'd want to sell it and wait to buy it back later? So going long when it's at an all-time high is maybe not the best idea, especially when other tech companies are having earnings and theirs comes up on the 3rd of August.
Apple's
Sorry, when
is.
other tech companies are having good earnings and their stock price is still going down.
I don't think Apple's going to have good earnings.
I mean, I don't work for them, but again, we're starting to see other tech companies have beat their earnings and their stock price still goes down afterwards.
Right, right.
Ranger McClure is right. All-time high doesn't mean it's up, but it also doesn't mean it keeps going up. Dark purple skies. If I had Apple shares right now, I would almost certainly be looking to sell them.
Yeah.
I'd be looking to sell between 195 and 200 and look to rebuy at between 180 and 175. I don't have any, but if I did have them, yes, I'd be doing that.
Awesome.
I wouldn't sell everything. There's still a lot of stuff that's going up. Again, the smaller banks, aerospace has been doing all right. I'm thinking that travel in general is gonna post good earnings. So post good earnings and actually have your stock price go up. I should clarify.
Yeah,
Right,
I think your travel thing is right on the money. I have some shares in duty-free shops, and those are up. So if duty-free shops are doing well, then travel is definitely going to be doing well.
Yeah. Again, so AIR, which is AAR Corporation, they did well. They do service on military and domestic aircraft. United Airlines did well. Was it Las Vegas Sands? Hang on. Oh no, Las Vegas Sands did not do well, even though they beat. Problem with earnings season is there's too many damn tickers and I get them all mixed up.
It's so aggravating when you get a killer earnings and no price movement. So aggravating.
I just got an email from Robinhood saying that FINRA regulations now require that PDT, like pattern day trader flags, are now permanent.
Damn.
Yeah, that's brutal.
I think they were bending the rules with that one in the first place.
To take them off,
Yeah.
to have them removed, yeah, I think so too.
That's brutal.
But that's like, I mean, that's only if you don't have enough in your account, right?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't affect me, but I remember not having that money, and I remember it being harder without the day trades.
You can always use a non-margin account. Cash secured accounts aren't subject to pattern day trading rules. And then
just that it's less protected is all.
Yeah. And I hesitate to mention futures to the Wall Street Bet crowd, but futures markets are not regulated by FINRA, and so also not subject to pattern day trading rules.
Oh.
Futures too confusing for me. It's all algorithmic based and all that.
No one here trades futures. I actually trade futures, so. Yeah, that's investing wifey says, "Gosh, imagine the losses." Exactly. That's why I'm definitely not suggesting it. Where's Ornamental Gourd Guy? We haven't heard from him in a long time. Okay, Ornamental Gourd Guy is alive and well in the Netherlands. So, thank you for checking on that negative road. Atmosphere, they all have separate personal things going on. You can still find them around, just not usually at the market open talks these days.
Hey, whatever happened with the monkey shortage? Did they ever get those monkeys back in stock?
Monkey shortage?
Yeah, there was some talk of like primate shortage, like for testing. This is a long time ago. We're just reminiscing right now. I just wanted to ask about that. This that must have been months
Y'all apes
ago.
better get out there and make some fucking babies.
There was some sort of shortage. Getting testing companies getting their hands on primates for testing. Like I want to know if those monkeys are back in stock, you know? That's nobody. Nobody see that was that was months ago.
Oh yeah, I'm glad somebody finally brought up jobless claims. So yeah, 8:30 initial jobless claims came out. The forecast was 242 with the previous of 237. Instead, actual was 228. So there are less people claiming unemployment than there were last report, which was mid June. So the jobs market is looking okay, which is a bull case. Continuing jobless claims went up though, so there's more people staying unemployed. Someone says we need jobs to live MFs. That is incorrect. You do not need a job to live. You just need a job to participate in the economy. You can totally live feral if you want.
Quill, have you been up all night, bro?
No. Why? Why would you suggest that?
Because I went to sleep and I saw you, and then I came back. I was like, oh shit.
No, I got out of the call pretty soon after you left.
Yeah, bro. It's looking like a red day, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It's not like beyond recovery. I'll just be bouncing around trying to make up for the calls. It'll be fine.
Uh, 10 a.m. we got existing home sales coming up. Last month it was a little green. Right now the forecast is negative 1.2%. So interested to see how that affects things like XHB. Well, since there's not a lot of news other than Tesla and Netflix earnings, for those of you interested, 1 p.m. They will be having a 10-year tips auction. So if you want to get in there and get your bonds, 1 p.m.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
You all right, dude? Is it like a real good poop?
Nah. I just feel like SPY is gonna be down.
But it do go down sometimes.
Had to happen eventually.
Shit, I should have bought puts. Still can probably, right? Let's see.
I should have bought puts. Classic. I suppose we can go through tickers that had earnings. So TSMC was this morning. We already saw that they're dropping because their earnings were green but not good enough. American Airlines, I believe, was this morning. Ooh, okay, they're not doing great either. Johnson & Johnson also eating shit. Nokia did not beat, but only by a smidgen, and they look to be flat with no volume. But it's also a $3 stock, so what are you gonna do? Who else we got? Freeport McMoran looks to be flat. They missed, but only by 5 cents, and the market seems fine with that. Apparently, I need to get my glasses checked. Abbott Labs. Still sitting at 108. They beat by 4 cents. Blackstone Group, BX. Swing and a miss by, what's that, 13 cents? DR Horton, ticker DHI. They jumped up and then are coming back down. Expected earnings 2.8, actual 3.9, so they beat. And who else? KeyBank, KEY. Those are the only tickers that anyone would recognize. Trading down was at 11.6, now at 10.8. Missed by 2 cents. This afternoon, we've got Intuitive Surgical, Capital One, CSX, PPG, Berkeley, Bank of the Ozarks, First Financial, Amarant, Associated Bank, and KNX, Knight Shipping, or whatever the hell it is. Knight Swift Transportation Holdings. There you go.
TFC also put out their earnings. They missed by 10 million in revenue and then 9 cents for EPS.
I've been watching one ticker specifically for the last, I don't know, 2 hours. It's PSQH, Paul Sam Queen Henry, just because of all the social media hype around it, and apparently they're going to be ringing the bell this morning. So it's supposed to be like the conservative version of Amazon is what they're saying. So it'll be interesting to watch it just to see if it tanks it open, or it's up, I think, like 18% right now since the merger with CLBR this morning, I believe.
So they're getting listed today?
Yep, it's already trading right now. I think it's like a 3 million float, and they're already over 800,000 in pre-market.
Well, good luck, and drop your knife before everyone else does.
Well, that's why I'm not doing anything right now. I want to see what's going to happen at open. If nothing else, I'm just hoping for a grinder kind of an open. You know, it skyrockets and then everybody sells off. So maybe I'll be in and out in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Wasn't there a problem with Grinder where you couldn't, like, if you bought it, you couldn't actually sell it for a couple days?
I didn't seem to have that issue. I day traded it.
It might have been for the people who had the SPAC prior to them becoming Grinder.
I know some of the stuff I was seeing, they said there's like a 180-day lockup period, but I think that's, you know, yeah, just for the SPAC
It's for
people.
insiders, yeah. No, there was somebody that had issues because they had it on Vanguard, or they bought it through Vanguard, and so Vanguard held it up on the day that they went public. But on Robinhood, they you could trade it all day. So it was broker dependent.
Yeah, PSQH, I guess, also has a separate ticker for the warrants. I'm just paying attention to it simply because of the, you know, the whole Merca.
I mean, we do come to town to save the motherfucking day. Taco, it's only been selling since 4 o'clock this morning. You've 2 previous resistance levels. Like, it hasn't even had a proper open market day. Listen, we like Coinbase at 465, okay? Oh yes, Taco. Sorry you missed it. We'd already mentioned they're getting listed today, and apparently they will be ringing the bell.
You said the PSQH ticker, that one's like supposed to compete with Amazon. So is it like a online shopping platform, or what exactly do they do?
The news on it says it is called the Patriotic Marketplace. So PSQ stands for Public Square, leading marketplace of patriotic businesses and consumers. Apparently, they used to be called Columbia Acquisition Corp, which is SPAC. Yeah, I don't know. Sell flags or some shit.
Yeah, just from doing some quick stuff, I guess part of the reason why there's so much hype around it is because Trump Jr. was in on it. I guess Elon said something somewhere, but I hadn't actually looked into that myself. It's basically supposed to be the anti-woke marketplace for, patriotic Americans. That's why I said I'm watching it just for the hype.
So I'm guessing Budweiser is not going to be one of their main advertisers, huh?
That's pretty good.
I guess they have like about 55,000 businesses. 90% of them are small business, and like 1.1 million users, supposedly. So I mean, it's not a huge thing, but I think with the fact that Kramer, I guess, is supposed to be saying to short it, and such just all the hype around it, I think it's going to be really volatile today. I just looked, and I think it was up over 25% pre-market now.
All right, here we go. The tagline is, "It's Etsy for Daisy Dukes."
Nice.
Yeah, if I had to guess, since Trump Jr. and Elon are supporting it, it'll have a good run up and then crash the floor.
Charming Style is making fun of American beer. Yeah, we don't give a shit about beer. We drink Jack Daniels. Someone's asking, did anyone listen to the TSMC earnings call? I don't know about you, but I was not up early enough to care about listening to an earnings call. It would have put me right back to sleep.
Do they do that in English or Chinese? TSMC.
I mean, isn't it Taiwan? I imagine it's in English. A reminder that they are number one.
Damn, that volume's already over 1.3 million in pre-market for a 3 million float. That's insane. So I was kind of in and out of here at the start today. Was somebody saying that Tesla's opening their Supercharger network in North America to like everybody now?
Yes. Anyone that wants to, they've open sourced the technology, the patents that they have for the Supercharger network. And a number of car companies have already announced, like GM has announced, a bunch of other car companies have announced they're going to be using it. And Tesla supercharging stations are now called the North American charging standard for EVs. They're also
So
making
does
their,
that mean?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You can finish what you were saying.
Oh, they also announced that they're going to be making their full self-driving software available to other manufacturers, and apparently they're in talks with one of the major manufacturers for licensing that. So that's going to be licensed. That's not going to be free.
That kind of worries me a little bit, considering that Tesla doesn't even have that really totally under control itself. And they came up with it.
According to their earnings call yesterday, they're expecting to be better than human drivers by the end of the year.
Yeah, that only applies though if all vehicles were on the same software and were communicating with each other with no human interaction. Hopefully they've gotten better at, avoiding things like, fire trucks and other things with blinking lights that they were crashing into at one point.
We shall see.
Elon did say they were using Nvidia stuff and were like taking it as fast as Nvidia would give it to them. So
Yeah, he did mention that Nvidia is busy with, and they're on a waiting list for some items, and they were able to negotiate preferential treatment. I thought that was interesting. It kind of hints at how Nvidia is going to do on their earnings.
yeah, he was pumping the Nvidia stock. He was basically like saying they're great and all that.
Damn, I should have gotten in pre-market when that was around 1377. It's up over 18 now. So I have a funny feeling in my gut that's going to tank it open.
I mean, that's what they normally do. They have like a massive ass run up, and then as soon as bell hits, everyone sells.
Well, the ticker just changed this morning, so I guess there are still some places that are having problems and people can't buy. And then you've got all the people that can't buy during pre-market either. So, I mean, it'll either be all the people in pre-market selling off at the open, and then everybody else jumping in to buy again. I don't know.
Probably a bit of both. But then give it 5 minutes and it should just be headed straight down. And then it'll figure itself out.
$18.75 with a minute to go.
All right, 10 seconds to market open. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Seems like SPY is attempting a climb back, up pretty significantly post market open. Well, actually, it's kind of slowing down now. I was wondering, well, I was gonna ask if this was people like buying the dip across the tech sector, and if we should expect a rise as the hours go through, or if this is as high as it's gonna get. I mean, obviously, impossible to tell, right? But just wondering how you guys are feeling the market within the first 5 minutes.
So as soon as the futures market opened at 6 p.m. last night, they dumped off pretty quickly, right? And then kind of slow recovery through the evening. But anytime you have a gap in the close to open for equities that aren't traded after hours. So, for example, the SPX by definition cannot move overnight. But the futures market kind of does. Well, I mean, it does move all night and kind of predicts where the morning is going to go. But there's a gap left between yesterday's close and today's open, where somebody wants to do business, right? And so somebody wants to buy and somebody wants to sell. Somebody thinks it's going to go back up. Somebody thinks it's going to go down further. And on a morning where we have a gap for an open, there's usually some amount of gap filling in those prices in between, where someone says, okay, great, it's at a discount right now, I want to buy. And then someone else is like, this shit's going to fall off a cliff here. You take mine, please. And so I can't tell you where it's going to go, but it's pretty common activity.
Yeah, that makes sense. How long does that, I don't know if you call it a lag or, well, yeah, how long does it take for usually to SPY to reflect that overnight?
Until all the people who want to do business at those prices are satisfied. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but that is the actual answer.
Oh, it makes sense. Thanks.
PSQH just halted up.
Damn, it's at 22. Something good.
Yeah, well, just because it halted up doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to reopen at like 13.
What ticker is that? I didn't catch it.
PSQH.
Papa Sierra Quebec Hotel or anyone.
Oh, this is the newly listed ticker you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not even in it because I'm too busy watching it.
But what does this company do? Oh, it's the holding.
It's an online market.
Let's put it this way: if you're over on StockTwits, there's nothing but Trump this and Trump that. So people are kind of comparing it to a DWAC ticker.
Oh, it's like a Trump adjacent ticker.
They kind of consider themselves like the patriotic, anti-woke marketplace.
Oh wait, like, so it's a broker dealer for Trumpus?
I think it's kind of supposed to be geared more towards like the conservative, pro-life, et cetera, kind of people.
Huh. Oh, so it's like an Etsy for that sector of the population?
I
Sorry, I'm
wouldn't
just
think too hard about it, man.
Yeah, I think I'm pondering the thought too hard on this guy, on this thing. Pondering the orb.
I think the one thing that we can be sure of is that if the Trump fans are into it, it will behave irrationally, and that's a great time to make money.
100%. I mean, with their cult mentality, 30% of the population. Yeah.
I'm not saying any more than that. Okay.
Yeah. Likewise. But yeah.
What's the ticker again?
PSQH.
PSQH.
And I guess no options. Oh, never mind. There we go. So it just exceeded the price with the highest written strike option, which was at 22.5, selling for 3.8. 4.5 now.
Yeah, I mean, on the very first day, a ticker opens. The options tickers the options strikes will not be able to keep up with the price usually, because it takes them time to get the strikes opened up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What Charming Style says there aren't options trading. There are options that expire tomorrow for PSQH.
Yeah, I'm seeing them too. They're in Robinhood, for example. They're on a regular platform.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. It's like your platform won't be able to keep up.
I'm just gonna call it back.
Yeah. But I think at this point, like, you may get left holding the bag if you play it now. I don't know. Unless you do a quick get in, get out.
Yeah, that's why I said I should have jumped in the pre-market when it was down to like 1377.
So this is a sort of a newbie question. How does one get into like buying it in the pre, or at what time was it listed?
Well, it's officially listed at market open, but the pre-market opens at 4 a.m. New York time.
Yep.
So people who have enabled after-hours trading can start at 4.
I see.
Well, they also had the ticker change during the pre-market, so a lot of places, weren't starting at 4 o'clock.
What? That's what, like, does that happen?
Well, for example, if you're in Canada, your brokers aren't regulated by the same agencies that American brokers are. So they're under no obligation to follow the same rules necessarily. It's all about what service agreements they have with the American places that are representing them.
Ooh, Rocket Lab is having a good upwards movement right now. That's been by far my most successful trade that I've been doing since I started trading about 3 months ago. It's actually at exactly 100% gain right now over the last 3 months. TV2239. Maybe. No, I've been taking profits. And yeah, try not to be too greedy with it.
Hey, yo, what's going on?
Try not to lose
Like
too much
your
money.
username.
Good morning. Just looking at the earnings today.
Wait, so did it get halted down? PSQH?
Yep.
That was a fast rug pull.
What happened to
one-
PSQ?
One up, one down.
What happened to PSQH?
They just got halted
Was
down.
that the? Yeah.
What?
It went up and then it went down.
Huh. Well. This is the Pro Short Series QQQ.
No,
No.
it's a new ticket that got listed today. PSQ Holdings.
PSQ Holdings.
Public Square. It is the Patriotic marketplace.
Wow, Google is showing me Pro Shares. Yeah, they're showing me PSQ, not PSQH.
No.
Stupid.
Papa Sierra Quebec Hotel.
Yeah. I'm looking
They,
now.
they just got listed this morning.
Okay.
So if it's not directly through your brokerage, various websites might not even have them yet.
Yeah, I searched Google and it said PSQ, not PSQH. Or PSQH.
Yeah, they rang the bell this morning.
Okay. Oh damn. Oh, Patriotic Marketplace, I see.
Yeah, that's why I said America.
Okay, this is the Columbia Acquisition Corp. I remember hearing about them. Yeah, CLBR. I heard about them yesterday. What the hell is that?
Let's see how big the drop is going to be. The float's already rotated over once.
All right, so whoever was asking about gap fills, you see how the price has come up from where it opened to just under where it closed yesterday, and then is finding resistance like right at that level.
Yep, I've actually, yeah.
There you go.
You explained that to me. I've been looking at a SPY figure, and yep, it's behaving just as you explained.
Can you
It's,
explain again
not always.
for...
All right, so basically there's the closing price yesterday, and then there was earnings calls between 4 and 6 p.m., right? So when the market's closed. But the futures market opens at 6 p.m., and they had an immediate sell-off, which doesn't always predict that we're going to open low, but often does. And so they had their sell-off overnight. Generally, that means, okay, well, the market, people heard the earnings calls, and then the market wants to go down. So this morning we open low. That leaves a gap between yesterday's close price and today's open price. But supply and demand says that usually there's somebody who wants to do business in between those two prices. And so when you have a gap opening, where the price is significantly different from between the open and close, that you'll see a gap fill in the morning of people wanting to trade those prices while the actual market is open. So you'll go up and you'll see it either regain support, which means that you'll trade in those prices and then it'll go back up into the range where it closed the day before, or you'll find resistance and it'll go up to the close price and then start heading back down.
So Yahoo Finance for PSQH at least saying the previous close was like $14.
There is no previous close. They have not been on the market.
No, understood. So Yahoo Finance is wrong.
Well, Yahoo Finance is filling in their website with whatever data they have available, and there's still a valuation of the company and a number of shares that will be available to it. This is public information before they ever go public. So a lot of times they'll fill in previous close when what they mean is the price that we calculate from before.
I understand. So then, what do you mean by gap fill on PSQH, or is this a different stock?
No, I'm talking about the whole market.
I got SPY.
I understand. Talking about SPY.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we can talk about SPY, but SPX, NDX, whatever it is, it's generally applicable to anything that is anything that has gaps in between where it closes during open market hours and where it opens the next day.
Right. I understand. I just thought that someone mentioned PSQH and then someone mentioned gap fill. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna apply the same. No, I understand. I understand where we're at now. I get it.
And PSQH is tanking hard.
I, for one, am shocked.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
I just love reading all the comments on some of these boards. It's ridiculous. People talking about, and see, Trump Jr. just ran away with all your money.
I mean, it's a pump and dump. They'll just hype it up and then sell it at highs and then get out.
Yeah, everyone just buy PSQH right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter once they're out, it doesn't really matter what happens with the stock. They made their money.
Well, remember, you only buy it if if you love America and patriotism.
I mean, I don't even know.
See, when I do all my stuff, I don't 9 times out of 10, I don't usually give a shit about the company, man. I'm just, in it to make a quick buck, make a profit, and get out.
Yeah.
Yep. I usually just buy options these days for earnings calls.
Yeah, I try to do that every once in a while if I've, got some spare change to throw at the market, but,
Yeah.
It's, my last good options play was, when GameStop had their last earnings, so I made a little bit off that. I haven't really done much since then.
I hear you.
Kind of get gun shy when the companies are like, "Hey, we made all this money and we're doing really good," and then the price still tanks anyway. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, because they're like, okay, now our forward guidance is that we're losing half our staff because of blah blah blah, and whatever. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I mean, it depends on the stock, because even Tesla beat earnings, but yeah, basically what dictates the price is what Elon says. No trade
Yeah.
sideways to that.
Right. It's all about forward guidance and how the future will affect the company.
It's
And
not
if,
even that. I mean,
it
with
kind of
normal,
is though.
well, no, with normal companies, yes, but Tesla, it's different because of Elon. Because he'll just say like, what? Basically, he implied to like sell Tesla because he thinks it's inflated and all that.
Did he really
Oh,
say?
I mean that's fucking funny as hell.
He said buy low, sell high, and he says we're in an inflated market. And he said I'm not recommending you sell Tesla, but
I mean, it kind of is true that the market is pretty inflated right now. Like, I think buying calls makes money just because the market is inflated, and I thought it would have a downturn, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen anytime soon. Yeah, inflated tiger trades.
most stocks only go up, so.
Sure.
And I think there goes SPY.
Yeah, Apple is following also.
Damn, everything is red. Let's see, how much am I down? Oh goody, 1.5%.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, mainly because of Truist, because I have a shit ton of money in that, and they missed earnings, and they're like trying to cut costs and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it's disappointing. I don't really care though, because I'm in it for the long run.
Mhm.
Because they're trading at like a 7.5 PE right now.
Which one is this?
Truist, ticker TFC.
TFC.
Tango Foxtrot.
They had earnings this morning, right?
Yeah, missed by 10 million, and then EPS missed by 9 cents.
Oof.
Oh, Financial Corp, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're looking for cost-cutting stuff, but I mean, it's cheap, and then I've had a good run with it for the past 2-3 months. I mean, it's rebounded all the way from lows of like 27 to 26 in May to right now 34.
And a great dividend yield too.
Yeah, 6% is pretty good.
Company was formed. Merger of BB&T and SunTrust. Okay.
Yep. I think they're fine. They got shit on extremely hard because of the whole financial problem with SVB and First Republic and all them.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Because Truist is a regional, so.
Oh, okay.
They're one of the bigger regionals.
Yeah, for sure.
They're perfectly fine. They just need to sort some stuff out. Nothing major, and then it'll just slowly climb up. Because before SVB went and took a shit, they were trading at like $45 to $50 a share.
Okay.
It's trading at 34 right now. and the highest it's ever gotten in like 2021 and all that was $60. So a good bit of upside, even if they get just generally close to where they were before SVB and Signature Bank and Credit Suisse.
Yeah, didn't Goldman Sachs also take a shit recently?
I think they did. I think they missed. Don't
No,
know.
they got earnings. They beat earnings, but they were down because of Apple Card. I guess they beat earnings though, so they're flying today.
They're the bank back in Apple and their whole.
They were.
Their whole system.
They were, and then I think Apple pulled out.
Wait, I don't think they did beat earnings. Hold on.
Google is telling me right now they beat earnings. They're up 2% today. Well, maybe not beat earnings, but they definitely. Oh, they missed EPS. They beat revenue.
Oh wait.
But they're up $7 today.
Investment banking revenue declined by about 20% in the second quarter. That's a lot. Trading revenue also fell by 14%. Overall profit fell by 58% from a year ago, 12.2 billion.
What the hell is happening then?
I don't know.
Why are they up 2%, $7 today?
People felt like buying.
No, there's some bullshit right here.
Nah, some of these banks actually like gotta go. Like I don't know how Citigroup is still alive.
There's some bullshit right here.
Damn, they missed EPS by 27%.
Yeah, right.
Shit. They beat revenue though, but
yeah, they're flying. Let me see.
So 18% down in net income. Net change in cash down 195%.
195%?
Yeah.
What?
12.25 billion.
What?
I mean, when in doubt, just throw your money into JP Morgan and you'll be alright.
Yeah, but I wanna buy puts. On GS. Oh, there we go. That's what's going on. Fucking Schwab, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't remember your choices. Okay. I'm good with those options.
Doesn't Bank of America also have a bunch of unrealized losses?
B of A, I don't know.
I think they might. I don't know if that was a rumor or actually true. Yeah, Schwab took a big hit. Revenue's down 8% year over year. Net income's down almost 28%.
I meant the Schwab app that I use. Because like my brokerage in Schwab, whenever you trade stuff, like if you push a button, it doesn't remember your previous option, and so it's like,
No.
Hey, speaking of, when is Think or Swim supposed to switch over to Schwab?
Yeah, I mean the
knows.
Ameritrade and Schwab merged back in like 2 years ago, and
yeah,
I guess like, they're still having trouble with doing the migration. Probably by December this year is the last date I've heard, but I don't know.
I googled it and it says Labor Day weekend.
Really?
when it's expected to take place.
I honestly don't plan to use the Thinkorswim platform to make trades. I might use it to do research and look at whatever that I need, but I wouldn't use it to make trades myself.
I mean, a lot. I use Thinkorswim for technical analysis, I guess. 'Cause I really like their interface. But yeah, I execute on Robinhood.
You like their interest rates somewhat?
But I like using Thinkorswim for actually like monitoring stock prices and doing technical analysis.
Same.
But I execute my plays on Robinhood.
Yeah. I use the Schwab app for executing my trades.
Is TD Ameritrade the same thing as Thinkorswim, or are they
Yeah,
different things?
yeah. It's the platform by TD Ameritrade.
Oh.
And then TD Ameritrade and Schwab. Which I think Schwab just bought TD Ameritrade.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I use. I use TD Ameritrade.
Yep. If you've never been in Thinkorswim, that platform is pretty cool.
Let's open an account. Shit, I can just... Oh, damn. I'm gonna need to create an account. Well, that's actually cool. Because I normally just go on TD Ameritrade and look at their stuff. And not use Thinkorswim.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody use Tasty Trade? I've heard good things, and it was created specifically for people who mainly traded options, and it was created by the guys that invented Thinkorswim back in the 2000s.
Yeah, I have heard of Tasty Trade. I have heard it's great for options trading. I think it gives you it tells you all the Greeks also, right? What the fuck? Carvana.
Is it moaning again?
I mean, coming from fucking $7 a share, that's fucking stupid. Oh god. Yeah, I think Thinkorswim also gives you options chain information. I'm not really smart enough to figure out anything else but delta as in terms of the Greeks. Damn, American Airlines. Hmm. Oh shoot, hang on.
apparently the UK is doing some more shit. There's some law that's being debated that requires like companies like Apple and Meta for the to allow the government to scan encrypted messages. And Apple's like threatening to remove FaceTime and iMessage, and people and some of the companies are threatening to walk out the UK market if the deal passes. So that's fun.
How'd everybody do yesterday with the Carvana action?
That was wild. I wasn't in it, but damn.
Well, I have Rad to thank for that. He turned me on to it, and I actually, got in on it. And yesterday I was at work, and I saw I was up 1,400%, and down, 1,000. I only had bought one contract, but still, walked away with $1,000, which is nice. Is actually my single biggest score ever. But again, thank you, Rad. Big up.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. Actually doing all right on some Tesla puts. Yeah, what was that you were saying earlier? I kind of caught the tail end of that. Was that
Okay,
Apple?
so the UK has a bill in. I don't really understand UK politics, but it's some bill that's, I don't know, like in their version of Congress or some shit. And
Okay.
if that passes, it'll require companies like Apple and Meta to allow the government to scan encrypted messages, and that's like
Really?
an invasion of, and that's like an invasion of privacy and all that. So Apple's threatening to walk. WhatsApp, Meta's probably threatening to walk.
So you think that'll drive stock price down, or what's your feeling on that?
I mean, it obviously hasn't passed, but it's this may be one of those bills that are just like made up and then thrown in court, and then
Gotcha.
it's like just instantly denied.
Yeah.
Because having Apple and Meta walk from your economy is pretty big.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have Apple products, and I'll be quite honest with you, I'm not really all that happy with them as of late, especially with like performance of it, and just I've been having like I was hacked a few months ago and whatnot.
Well, even Microsoft got hacked pretty recently.
Oh, really?
They got the Chinese-based hacker group, I forgot what it's called, but they hacked Microsoft and got into, I think, 38 companies, including 2 government officials, but it was caught pretty quickly, so nothing major. But the hacking they've got is pretty rampant.
Oh,
China's claiming nothing to do with it, but somewhere in there, China probably had something to do with it. Anyone doing any earnings tomorrow? Like American Express or Regions, AutoNation? Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, buddy. Good morning.
Morning.
So,
What do you guys think of what's going on in Ukraine right now? I feel like the status quo is coming to an end. I actually think Russia's just getting shit on. The only one they have buying their oil is China now. Looking not too good against Ukraine. If I had to guess, I don't know how long the war is going to last, but it would probably be on Ukraine's terms because they're looking pretty good. Because they're getting funding and weapons from the West right now. And Russia just doesn't have the people that are trained. Like, they don't even know how to work their AK. Like, how can you have a good army when they don't know how to work their weapons? But Russia may actually end up collapsing, though. Even with, like, cause with the whole Wagner group headed toward Moscow and all that, and then Putin had to negotiate. And Russia ain't the big bad Soviet Union no more. They're pretty shit right now. Only thing they got going for them, at least economically, is their oil. If anyone's interested, GPC, Genuine Parts Company, has their earnings call in 15 minutes. Or Eyes of the Valley, Strictly Bear wants to come out on stage. I don't know if y'all still here.